Salut, merci de toi là. Aujourd'hui, nous allons prendre... You know what? I don't think I'm actually allowed to do that. Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be looking at these photos that I shot while we were on a trip down to Orlando, Florida, where we... Well, what else do you think people do down there? To make a long story short, I put my 2 weeks in at my old job, and one of those weeks just happened to be when we were taking a company trip down to none other than the residence of the Big Mouse. And for me not to capture the trip on film would deprive me of having the same characters and qualities of a mother in the 90s that would also shoot film during the whole trip to maintain the good memories. You can call me the mom of this trip. I had some Uncle Portra 400 loaded into my 35mm camera already, and the next day was the day it all began. We landed in Orlando and sooner than later realized that the place we were staying in was way too rich for our blood. Speaking of rich, the people who accompanied me on this trip were also photographers. Ryan, a rugged nature photographer, Daniel, a Nikon user, and the man who has the dating history of both Jennifer Aniston and Taylor Swift, John Mayer, and other people who weren't photographers, so they don't matter.
Do you like stick your finger in your eye and flip it?
Do you think there's some at that shop, at that little store?
Knowing I had Uncle in my camera already, we walked around the neighborhood to capture the suburb side of Orlando.
Should I make a vlog out of this, John?
If you want, go. I say go for it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I really dig this photo of the evening light hitting the cabbage palms. The angled 45 on the side of the wall is a nice touch too.
Yes.
That night of the same day, we decided to check out Universal Studios. I did not bring my flash with me, so I had to take all of these at 2.8 with a 15th of a shutter speed, and I'm surprised with what came of them. I also had my first margarita there. It was okay. We ended the night with singing karaoke, but also found a reggae cover band. If I have any regrets of this trip, it would be not taking more portraits of these guys. They were stellar.
I gotta keep on moving, Lord. I gotta get on down. I said, Lord, I wanna keep on.
The next day came, and our first place would be the Magic Kingdom. I'm loading a new
didn't say
roll of
anything. I
film
didn't
I've never done before.
Okay,
This
I
needs to be
didn't say-
captured.
Which one is it? Ultramax?
Ultramax 400, yeah. Like technically I count it because I've shot it before. I didn't know I was shooting it though. I just thought it was called like Kodak 400 something. So I count this as virginity. I loaded in a roll of Ultramax 400 and asked my friend Michelle if I could take a portrait of her. No surprises here. I think the stock handled it quite well. It was as we were driving, Michelle said her most iconic line during the trip. "I'll eat your ass in front of your friends." One of the few rides that I went to there was Space Mountain, and for some godforsaken reason, I just didn't think to take my hat off while the ride was about to go, and I remember the hat flying right off my head and all of the gravity in the world went straight to my feet as it happened. But by some God-given miracle, the stars aligned and my friend Allison was able to catch it mid-air as it flew off my head. And I guess she basically saved my collegiate legacy as a result. Allison, if you're watching this, you're a real one. We saw the castle and pretty much everything else we wanted to at Magic Kingdom, so we called it quits early to get some sushi.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there.
Yeah.
Ah yes, this shot. This is the first of many cases where you guys will see me not properly checking the viewfinder because my camera strap often gets in front of it. As you all will see in the future, this is not the only time that this has ever occurred, so feel free to call me out whenever it happens. After sushi, I loaded in a film stock that was new to me, Superia 400.
First time.
Which is Fuji's standard 400 speed film.
So Connor, how does it feel to be using your last roll of Superia 400?
America is dead.
On the way back to the house, we stopped by this bird outlook, and this is the part of the video where I admit something very sacrilegious to you all. I shot digital. Listen, there are just some scenarios where I think that film is not as flexible as a digital sensor is. And especially in environments like these, I feel that a high-speed continuous feature can also aid me in getting the shots that I want to. You feel me? Because of this, I think we were able to capture these subjects of ornithology appropriately. As we were shooting here, I got this one, and it's a favorite of mine from the trip. The rope leading up to the man pulling up a trap is a very strong foreground subject, and the fisherman/light post in the background motivates the cirrus-filled sky. Superia delivered on this, and it's a case that shows you don't always need the high-end stuff to get results that are worthy.
Going to Walter's house.
The same night we decided to head back to Magic Kingdom to see the fireworks, but figured seeing them from a distance would make for some cool landscapes. We were kinda correct. Digital definitely won this round because all of my film shots were severely underexposed. I was not smart and didn't bring a tripod with me like John did. The master.
That's that.
Get him, John.
I'm not even paying attention.
Good man, John.
I'm a good man. Johnny Brown.
I decided to try and do another early morning portrait with my friend M, and again, no surprises, the stock gave something more than valuable. The humidity was thicker than the bass on a Kendrick Lamar track, but we toughed it out. Before we made our way over, our friend Anne saw some of us drinking and said her most iconic line from the trip, "Are you guys pre-gaming Animal Kingdom?" Which later in the day was followed with, "I got a disability pass because I have OCD." Mickey also made an appearance right in front of one of my favorite sites in the park. You guys are probably wondering when things were going to get interesting, and that time is now, because I brought over a roll of FPP Retrochrome, a slide film that is eponymous for giving a very expired look to your images. I thought, if anything, Animal Kingdom would have been the best place to give this stuff a go, and I was right. I had always wanted to take a photo like this, and Retrochrome aided in what probably would have been a pretty bland shot. The pop of muted red and blue from the barrel and bike stand out well from a very yellow tinted world. The signage also adds to everything else this piece has going for it. If you ask anyone from this group, this was probably our favorite day at Disney.
Yes.
Is this Avatar? No. Yeah.
Oh, this is not enough. Sorry.
This looks familiar.
The band.
Yes. That's what I was asking. The band is.
I mean, I may not be able to score a shot.
You good?
Is she alive? She's asleep.
Connor, are you videoing yourself?
Are you videoing yourself with a mukbang?
Yeah. Luckily, I've only been once.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah, if you the pool table, it's gonna be.
Right.
Oh no.
She did it!
Oh. Literally had like a quarter of a heart left. Oh my god.
There you go.
No.
Too late.
We had a free day, so we went to a hockey game. Daniel enjoyed himself, but Ryan was not having it. After surviving mass hysteria, we treated ourselves to breakfast for dinner and another round of beer pong. We explored the suburbs more after waking up the next day. Epcot was next on the list, and our favorite Disney pal Goofy was there to greet us. We had to steer clear from him though, because he may have murdered someone.
Guilty.
My first Canadian beer.
If shooting 2 new film rolls wasn't good enough, how about 3? This next one was Ektar 100, which is a film stock that divides the film community when it comes to its necessity and existence, which is exactly why I put it in. First impression is a very good one. It's nice to have a stock where its specialty is saturation. As we were traveling around a incredibly accurate world, I was only able to capture the very tail end of this, but I took what is probably my favorite photo from the trip. Try to ignore Abu in the middle, but to me, everything works about this one. The woman being framed by the 2 doors brings more attention to her, and the bareness of those stone walls make the chairs pop as well as her purse. One of those rare cases where I knew as soon as I took the photo, it was going to be heat. Change my mind if you want, but it's going in the portfolio. So, something I would just like to point out. It was early in the day I snapped this photo of Alice, which was taken at probably around 10 to 11 in the morning. It was going on to evening, and as we were passing by the same place, Alice was still there. I'm not sure if actors come in and take different shifts, or maybe they rotate characters to take the same place, but no matter how you slice it, I just wanted to take a moment and extend some value to the actors who work at Disney every single day to bring joy to the kids and everyone who passes by, and just say that you guys are doing a fantastic job. We ended the night by going to Paris, France to embody probably everyone's favorite Pixar flick. I love the experience so much that I got the little guy you see on my shoulder right here.
Yeah, the fireworks are pretty good. I still like the old one. Let me call my dad. Alright, talk to you later.
That night we came back was incredibly interesting, to say the least. All that I'll say is Giordano's pizza never tasted so good in a place that wasn't Chicago. This is how much film I have shot. This is how much film John has shot.
Step up your game, Connor.
The trip came to an end the next day, so we packed up the house and made our way to our final destination, Hollywood Studios, sans the log truck killing us. I had 2 goals on this final day: get the best photo of the trip and get choked by Kylo Ren. I was only successful in one of these. I definitely felt like the outsider this day, because while everyone else was excited for the Star Wars section, my whole trip was already made by getting to see Mr. Incredible, Sully, and Woody. It didn't last because everyone wanted to go look at decapitated droids. Also, blue milk's not that great. We made it to Mos Eisley, and I met one of my goals. Kylo Ren caught me taking his photo, and force choked me in front of everyone. That's it. That's where the story ends. At the end of the day, I got some gifts from my family: a Buzz and Woody for my sister, a Grogu for my stepfather, and a shirt for my mother. But before we could make our exit, the mouse himself made an appearance. The trip ended with this shot. I can't put my finger on why, it just reminds me of the JFK assassination. Tomorrow's my last day of my first job out of college. I don't know how to feel about that. I was making a huge transition in my life during this role, which all started on my final day at my old workplace. The rising sun painted the neighboring houses beautifully. I got donuts for everyone, and John insisted we take photos of each other on his medium format camera. It was the last time I was going to share an office space with these people. The next few days, I made sure to take in the environment before I started my next chapter in another city. Just before I could sneak out, Sonny had to make sure that I knew he would miss me. Call me sappy, mushy, whatever's clever, but this is one of my favorite final images to a film roll ever. It just symbolizes perfectly what I was feeling in this point of my life. Starting new, being given another chance to move on. Every time I look at this image, I'm reminded of how we're only as young as we are today, and if we treat ourselves with kindness, we'll never get any older deep down. Cathartic is its name. I was becoming obsessed with the view of my backyard and wanted to see what a Fuji stock could do in the snow, so I loaded up my last roll of Superia 400. This was the morning of my first day on the new job, and when I woke up, I almost didn't go into work because of what I saw when I woke up. Still to this day, the morning light has never been this bold and red. I couldn't tell if this was the universe sending me a warning, or maybe it was the complete opposite. Either way, straight heat. After having that camera for nearly 6 months, it finally happened. My battery died. I was freaking out in the moment, but then realized that Olympus just suffers from the fate of not being a mechanical camera. So all I had to do was swap out the dead battery with a fresh new one. And every time I do switch it, I feel like there's an assassin around me. It just went off. I really enjoy the greens and reds that Fuji stocks produce, but the greens in particular. My friends found out I moved into town and came over to check out my new apartment, which was basically barren, which meant my whole apartment was very echoey, and when humans hear their own voice to be amplified, we can't help but get louder and more confident. I apologize to all of my neighbors, and they also met Remy, whom they were obsessed with.
What? No, call mommy. What? No, call mommy. What? My brain.
You are definitely the carrot, man.
No, my brain works.
Too bad you
will die.
We traveled to Ohio for a weekend, and I was not prepared for how lucky I was gonna get with some shots. I put in a new black and white roll that goes by the name of TMAX 400, known for its deep contrast and supposedly is one of the sharpest black and white stocks still on the market. I thought I would put that to the test the next day when we would explore the town together. As far as landscapes on 35mm are concerned, without a doubt, this is one I always find myself coming back to. It's the cafe signage for me, and I know most people try to avoid power lines like these in their photos, but I actually find them to pull you into the shot more with how the lines cross in the shot. Photos like these make me really, really proud I bought the 28mm lens for my camera. It was later that evening I took these two. I'm not going to take credit for this one because I did see someone else take it, but as a photographer, it's my duty to steal from other people and call it my own. So here it is. But this one is what I would consider to be a plate because it's an image you can eat off of. It's so striking. I love this photo so much. Whenever I'm in a setting like this with people, it's my hope to capture life in its most candid essence, and can't help but feel like this exemplifies it perfectly. It's also my understanding that if this was on color, it wouldn't have nearly the same effect. The lighting, pose, mood, it is the moment. I ended the roll with testing to see how TMAX would handle sunset. This may be powered by current infatuation, but I think TMAX 400 might be my favorite black and white stock. Ohio apparently wasn't done with its scenes yet because the next morning gave me an Uncle Portra 400 wonderland. This one of the house we stayed in being my favorite from this roll. The lighting just hits so good, and the placement of the moon adds a lot of depth and flavor. I don't know what I did when setting my exposure with this roll, but it made these photos so objectively fulfilling to me.
Kill him. Kill. One die.
Hey, boys.
I can't really tell you why I took this. My whole family will tell you how observant I was growing up, which only translates to me noticing the way light can create a corner like this. The only purpose of this photo's existence is to simply do just that, and I love being the bearer of giving that, I think. My friends Aaron and Marissa invited me to a photo night, so my last roll of Ultramax 400 was up. The theme was circus and dinosaurs. That same night, I captured this. A picture that didn't really have much significance to me when I first saw the result, but as time has passed, I love this photo more and more. The bench is a great foreground to help lead our eyes to the woman at the end of the hall, heading towards a black void where there seems to be nothing. It's liminal glory, and the reflection of the exit sign is a nice touch too.
Name a rom-com you see.
This is where the part where I don't watch a lot of movies comes in, and National Treasure.
There's no other way to really prepare you all for this besides saying my apartment just seemed to become the place my friends would all flock to, which turned into slumber parties we would have as 20-year-olds. Rum and Coke was involved, as well as the watching of The Wedding Planner, a movie with very racist undertones, and the lowest rated horror movie that we could find on IMDb, Axum, where people get murdered with everything except an axe, including a telephone. Honestly, the movie was so low quality that I could probably put it in this video and not get a copyright strike.
Can't believe Christ! Oh God, we're constantly got some soggy ass thumbs. Oh, he's mentally ill, remember? No!
So for your ability score increase on the 4th level, you can put it into another stat.
Yeah. Got your house before the teeth.
And that's all she wrote. 3 rolls of Portra 400, Ultramax and Superia 400, and a single roll of Ektar 100, TMAX 400, and FPP Retrochrome. When I was looking at these photos in preparation for this video, all of the feelings that I had when taking them came back to me in the best way one could ever imagine. Remembering the people, whether inclusive or exclusive, the environments, whether preferred or unwelcome, everything that was the winter of 2022. And truth be told, I don't feel cold. Hey, that rhymed. In short, this medium can act as almost like a time machine for one, And it always really bumps me out when someone goes on a trip like this and they have an experience that they don't want to forget, and they don't take advantage of something like photography to help them remember and encapsulate everything that they loved about this time of their lives. It just takes a second to stop and take a picture so that it lasts longer for them. I'm cutting it here. Next time is going to be a whole other new chapter. Comme un peu moyen.